We flew with EasyJet from Liverpool to Paris Charles de Gaulle, then got the Roissy bus transfer to central Paris and a short taxi ride to the Le Gray Hotel. Our room is on the 5th floor and opens onto that high balcony, from which we have a good view of the Rue de Palme. The Le Gray is a smart boutique hotel and ideal for our purposes for a 4-night stay. It's about a 10 or 15 minute walk to the old Paris Opera, the Palais Garnier, where we have a pre-booked guided tour. Our tour begins in the area where the most elite of Paris would meet prior to the opera performance. The grand staircase was in many ways the central feature of the opera house. This is where the great and the good came to see and be seen in the most opulent surroundings. The opera was built between 1861 and 1875. In the auditorium, the private boxes were where the elite of society came. The ceiling painting is modern from 1964 by Marc Chagall. And that is the Emperor's box. The grand foyer was reserved for the elite during the intermissions, but men only. Next morning it's a 10 or 15 minute walk to Montmartre. The famous Moulin Rouge nightclub is of course one of the most famous sights of Montmartre. The other is the Church of Sacré-Cœur. The church was built between 1875 and 1919. The hill of Montmartre rises to 400 metres above sea level and gives good views over Paris. We didn't climb up though, we used the tourist train, and now we're on our way back down. Montmartre was once home to many artists and musicians, including Renoir, Picasso and Erik Satie. Even though it was a Sunday and a bank holiday, the fresh food stores were open and busy. We're strolling down the Boulevard de Clichy towards the Place Blanche and eventually back to our hotel. Next morning we're on a riverboat cruise which starts near the Eiffel Tower. There are several companies offering these cruises. We've booked with Bateaux Parisienne. There's a professional video crew on board. We're now passing by the Ile de la Cité. and we're about to pass the Cathedral of Notre Dame. The professionals are at it again. We've now turned round the tip of the Ile de la Cité and we're heading downstream again. Passing the Institut de France, home of the Académie Française. The Musée d'Orsay used to be a railway station. The National Assembly. Alexander III Bridge coming up, and the Grand Palais, built for the 1900 International Exposition. Having left the boat at the Eiffel Tower, we head for the Bistrot de la Tour Eiffel, where we've been before, for lunch. After lunch, we took the metro to visit Notre Dame. The cathedral was completed in 1345, but has been much amended and restored since then. And outside Notre Dame, some pleasant little streets. And here's the Bateau Bus, a regular water bus service that runs about every 20 minutes. The Hôtel de Ville, Paris's city hall, dates back to the 16th century, but was greatly rebuilt in the 1880s. From here we stroll through the Marais district of Paris. The Place des Vosges is the oldest planned square in Paris and dates from 1612. The Place de la Bastille, site of the Bastille prison, which was destroyed in the French Revolution of 1789. The July column celebrates another revolution, that of 1830. The Place de la Bastille is also home to the Opéra Bastille, the new home of the Paris Opera, where we are going to hear a performance of Rigoletto. The building was completed in 1990 and has excellent acoustics. Our last full day is Versailles, and we've arrived just before opening at 9 o'clock, hoping to beat the worst of the queues. We'd pre-booked our tickets online, so once we were through security, we were able to head straight on in. This is the Chapel Royal, built by Louis XIV. Louis XIV inherited a hunting lodge on this site in 1643 and expanded it into the most sumptuous palace in Europe. The Hall of Mirrors is 73 metres long and contains 357 individual mirrors. Passing back through the marble courtyard, you notice how much gilt there is and how recently it's been restored. Passing now through the Queen's apartments. Into the gardens now. The Fountain of Latona. A tourist train takes us round some of the huge gardens, stopping first at the Grand Trianon and later at the Petit Trianon. The Grand Canal is over a mile long and you can hire boats. The Fountain of Apollo. The gardens are divided into outdoor rooms, which were used for various functions such as balls and banquets. And there were fountains everywhere, which were turned on and off according to where the king and his party were at that time. Time to head back via the railway station to get the train back into central Paris for our final afternoon.